Here's what you're getting out of my channel, man. I'm not giving you this fake shit. I'm not giving you clickbait crap. What I'm going to give you is real shit. Okay? What I say about Trey Lance and those other players, I'm going to tell you straightforward what I think of these players. It's not hate or nothing, but let's get on to my topic, all right? I don't want it to be the negative side, all right? But when I criticize the player, it's got to be a legitimate reason to. So, in Brock Purdy's defense, we're going to discuss about Brock Purdy. Here's what Brock Purdy has shown during this training camp. He showed toughness. He was getting tested by Colin Farrell with that elbow. You know, that could have been concerning. That could have been a setback. But Brock Purdy showed some toughness. Maybe I'm wrong about it. You know, I'll take my L if I'm wrong about this. I'm concerned he can have a setback. But if he shows that toughness against the Steelers, then there's a different opinion about what I think of Brock Purdy. But here's the problem with Brock Purdy. Those type of throws that he's been doing consistently before, those could be interceptions. Those can be the problem down the road, bro. Like, you look at his rookie season. There was a couple of plays that could have been intercepted, but he was lucky. He's been doing this in college. You got to look at how he plays. He plays good football. But when you look at the way he throws the ball, sometimes those are like giveaways. And that needs to get better. But I think he's already earned the right to be our starting quarterback. So there's no ifs and buts about it. You don't want to bench a guy who's been on a winning streak. And Shanahan gave this guy the job as rightfully as it should be. But I would think it would be nice to have a competition at quarterback. But it's not going to happen. I think Trey's going to earn the right to be the number 2 guy. And then down the stretch, Brock Purdy is the guy. Whether some of us agree or not, I feel like this is a great feel-good story, but we need to see more of this kid. But the good thing about the situation is we don't have to trade these quarterbacks, man. Some of you guys are reaching for the trades, bro. Have you seen what happened the previous seasons? We can't go a season without a healthy quarterback. We went through 3 quarterback injuries. Then you include the 4th in the NFC Championship game. Like, come on. You think we're going to trade these quarterbacks? Knowing the situation with Kyle Shanahan? I don't know about you guys. You guys are reaching. You guys are clickbaiting. You guys are kind of holding your agenda. Like, let's face facts. Outside of 2019, we have not had a season with a healthy quarterback. So you got to use your common sense. Trey Lance isn't going anywhere because you never know what you're going to get out of this kid. We're not giving up on this kid. This kid has an opportunity to shock the lead. But you guys want him gone? That's the problem right there. That's the problem. The good thing about having these 3 quarterbacks. See, I'm singling out Brandon Allen because he hasn't proven enough to make the roster. What I'm going to say is, I want to describe these 3 quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, he's shaking off the rust. He's proven to be a really quality starting quarterback. He's proven to be the fit of our system. He can win games. There's no ifs and buts about it. Trey Lance, when given the chance, he has the upside to take us places that we've never been before. And maybe win that 6th Lombardi, but we'll never know. We'll never know. That's the thing. We'll never know because he hasn't played enough games. And some of you guys are calling this kid a bust. But the thing is, he can throw the long balls. The accuracy needed some work. The short intermediate pass needed to work. He's been training throughout the offseason to improve those areas. And it's worked out. Like, actually, if you look at the remaining of the training camp from those 6 days, he had 65% completions. 65 completions. That's better than the rest of the quarterbacks. Like, he has about 26 out of 40 passes. Or something like that. Like, 26 out of 40-something passes. Which is 65% completion. Which is not too bad. So he had a good amount of completions. Brock Purdy had a lot of the throws. He only completed 29 out of 40-something, but it was like 60% completion, which is not too bad for a quarterback coming off an injury. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Look at Sam Darnold. He had 58% of completions. Not too bad, but Come on, man. Let's not act like he's better than Trey, bro. Trey has better completions at this point. That's going through the first team a little bit, but Trey's actually been going with the backups and the starters, and he has those other receivers catching the ball. So let's not act like he didn't do nothing spectacular. Like he was throwing passes to Chris Conley, Brayden Willis. There's been plays where he had to throw it to other receivers that are probably not going to make the roster. But then you look at the other quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, through the backup, splitting reps, 58%. Some of his throws were good, and some of them weren't good. You had your ups and downs with Sam Darnold. Brandon Allen, this guy's not going to even make the squad. Like, he had, 64% of the completions? But that's through third strings and all that stuff. But he kind of gives you that good impression that maybe if it were a emergency and we had some, I hope it doesn't happen, but you never know. But he just wasn't impressive. But I'm giving you my real takes about these quarterbacks. Like, okay, for the moment, you want to go with the guy who was winning you games. And you've seen enough of the film. So when you come into your conclusion, yeah, you want to go with the kid Brock Purdy because he didn't technically lose the job. He had a full offseason to recover from the injury. So Trey Lance, in an unfortunate situation, I think he will regain the job back down the stretch. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's all about winning games. But I'm not going to be biased against Brock Purdy because I feel like he already earned the right. There's certain stuff he needs to improve on, but I'm not here to judge. I'm being real with y'all. If you don't like what I got to say, then it is what it is. But you got to look at the stats and what he can do to get better. Some of those passes from Brock Purdy, that's a little concerning sometimes. Those can be interceptions. Those are the plays he got away with. And the defense has enough games to look at film. That's going to be something that Brock needs to prove. Because even with those 8 games he played, the Steelers' defense is going to be more prepared to know his tendency and his weakness. They're going to find what he's good at and not good at. So I want to see how Brock does, That's what I'm intrigued by. As a 49ers fan, we all want to see whoever at quarterback ball out. I'm not against these other guys. As long as you're representing this team right here, that's all I care about. And there's nothing against Brock Purdy. You earned the right. I'm not going to backpedal shit because you won like 7 straight games and took us to the conference championship. This was a pretty interesting story. Maybe the story continues on. Maybe you reach your potential. Maybe you take us to the Super Bowl. Maybe you win us the 6th Lombardi. Maybe you become the first ever Mr. Irrelevant pick to ever win the Super Bowl. That would be the greatest story. That would be Walt Disney. But we'll never know. But Trey Lance, let's not give up on this kid. This is a good situation. We don't want to blow that away. Sam Darnold wants to resurrect his career. That's a good situation to have at quarterback. I'm telling you, let's just chill, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's relax. But that's all I got to say.